Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm coming to you with my updated foundation routine, and I have been doing the technique where you do your concealer and contour first and then your foundation. So if you like to see that, then just keep on watching. Okay, so to start, we're going to start with primer. My go-to primer is the Tatcha Silk Canvas, and it's bomb. It literally fills in your pores and it makes your makeup last all day. So if you're noticing, I'm pushing it in to the skin, and you don't just want to rub it around because this primer needs to be pushed in or else it will just sit on top of your skin. Okay, now I'm going to go in with a Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Full Coverage Conceal and Contour. I'm using C13, and since it's not quite dark enough for me, I go ahead and take a darker concealer from Colourpop. So I take it around my nose for some contour, hollows of my cheeks, around my forehead, and under my chin. And then I'm taking Colourpop No Filter Concealer in the shade Dark 54. And I'm going to take a Morphe M427 brush and just blend it in. So when you blend it in on the sides here, you want to blend upwards. You don't want to take this far down. You kind of want to leave this space blank. And I know it's going to look kind of harsh for now, but again, we're going to go in with foundation to blend out any harsh lines. I'm going to blend it around my forehead, push it back into your hairline so everything blends together. Now taking a smaller duo fiber brush from MAC, the 206, and I'm blending it out around my nose. I like using duo fiber brushes because it helps you blend better. And I push my contour up into my eyebrows to tone them down and really just to pull everything together. Okay, so now that that's done, I'm gonna go in with my favorite concealer of all time. It's the Tarte Shape Tape, and they came out with newer shades, so I'm now the shade Medium Tan Golden, and y'all, this is bomb. Oh, you know what? I forgot to color correct. Let me do that real quick. I'm just taking an orange color corrector, and color correcting, all it's gonna do is just counteract that darkness anywhere in your face. Okay, so you want to do that before you do concealer. So now that I have that on, I'm gonna go ahead and in with my concealer now. And now I'm just gonna blend away with the pointy side. And I'm pouncing back and forth. With a beauty blender, you don't want to swipe. Now I'm blending under my eyes, and I focus it underneath right here first before I drag it out. And I'm also going to drag it down on my cheekbones just a little. So right now I'm kind of making harsh lines because I'm just trying to make sure my face is nice and highlighted and contoured. Then we will go through and even it out. Okay, so I have two favorite foundations at the moment. It's the NARS Natural Radiant Longwear Foundation and my tried and true MAC Studio Sculpt Foundation. I just fell in love with this again, so I'm going to go on with this. And I'm using the smallest amount. And I'm just blending that in on the spaces where there is no product first, which is really just the bottom of my face. Then I'm gonna go ahead and blend upwards and blend out any harsh lines like so. I like this technique because I use so much less product. I used to go through so much foundation because I would do a full face of foundation, then I would go in with all this contour and concealer, and it'd be too much, I think. So now I'm using less product and it's looking more natural and skin-like. I mean, how natural is this really gonna be? But you know what I mean. So now on my forehead, I'm blending between these two lines here and then blending downwards so that there are no harsh lines. Okay, so then I just take my concealer side and I just blend over my concealer. You really just want everything to blend in, and I'm gonna add a little bit more of my, whatever's left on the brush, back to my contour. And if you see, it's not as harsh anymore. Okay, now that that's done, we're gonna go into my favorite part, which is setting. And first I like to use the Studio Fix powder in C4 from MAC. I always go in with this to set under my eyes first because it just literally makes it look airbrushed underneath my eyes. And it adds more coverage as well. I'm pouncing this into the skin to really set that concealer. Now this step is not necessary, but this is just in my routine. This is what I've like been loving. It makes my skin look bomb. Okay, so now that that's done, I'm gonna go in with my new favorite setting powders. These are the Mood Highlight setting powders from Jaclyn Cosmetics, and I mix the colors Carats and Brilliant for underneath my eyes. Brilliant is too dark and Carats is too light, so I mix them in the top. Also, those foundations I mentioned, the Studio Sculpt is for drier skin because it's a dewy foundation, but if you just set it with a mattifying setting powder, you'll be fine. I set it underneath my eyes first, then I'll go ahead and take any extra powder in there and bake it. I'm gonna bake my chin, and then I always bake between my eyebrows because I guess I frown a lot. My frown lines there are sickening. Cute. Okay, so now that that's done, I'm gonna go ahead and just take the shade Brilliant and set my whole face. Now that we're nice and set, I'm gonna still let this bake under my eyes a little bit. I'm gonna go in with the Fenty Beauty Bronzer in Island Ting. And I'm just gonna sculpt out my cheeks. I use this as a contour and bronzer in one. I like my bronzers and contours to look more warm than cool. So I don't really like contour shades. I'm pushing that literally on top of that cream contour we put down, and I'm pushing upwards. Again, leave this area blank. I'm gonna go ahead and bronze the forehead. I have a big forehead, so I'm bringing it down pretty far. And then I'm going to take that same little stippling brush and contour my nose. Now that we're nice and bronzed, I'm going to go ahead and sweep away any setting powder I have left. And then I'm going to go in with that big brush again and just blend everything together. Now time for blush. My go-to blush, I'm sure if you guys have known for the past few videos, is the Makeup Shayla and Colourpop collaboration in the shade Whistle While You Werk. And I'm using a Morphe M530 brush. So I go ahead and focus it on the apples of my cheeks first, and then I'll pull it backwards. And if you notice, I take it in between my nose area here too. It just adds more color. A little bit on my nose. It blends everything together, and I just like looking flushed. I love blush. I used to not care for blush, but now I'm obsessed. Now before I go in with the highlighter, I always set with some setting spray first. And that just allows everything to set in together to make it look more natural. And then before it's dry, I go in with my highlighter to really let it stick and pop. I also have a more simple foundation routine that is super easy for those of you that are new to makeup. So I'll go ahead and link that above too. Okay, for highlight, I'm gonna go in with the Jaclyn Cosmetics loose highlighter in Bomb. And y'all, this really is bomb. So I take whatever's in the top and I'm dusting it off a little bit, and then I take it on the high points of my cheek. I'm taking it on my forehead a little bit, on my chin, my lip, and then of course down the center of my nose. And then I'm taking it on my collarbone since they are out today. I'm here for this. I love this big brush. It helps blend in my highlighter so well rather than just making that harsh line. So y'all, that is it for my foundation. Super easy. I'm gonna set it one more time. I'm gonna go ahead and throw on some lipstick and finish my under eyes, and I'll be right back. All right, you guys, so that is it for my foundation routine. I'll go ahead and zoom in a little bit so you can see. It's so smooth, flawless, airbrushed. I'm obsessed. I I'm obsessed with this foundation routine. I get so many compliments on my skin with it, and I honestly think it has to do with the little amount of foundation that I use now, and honestly these two powders. Setting it with a foundation powder underneath your eyes, bomb, and then topping it off with this mood highlight from Jaclyn Cosmetics, y'all. So bomb. I've never used a setting powder so good because my skin is so dry that if I go on with like this Fenty one, it's too dry for my skin. The Sacha Buttercup is bomb, but it makes my skin look dry. So I really love this. I love having a glowy, dewy skin look, and that's what this is. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you want to see any other videos, please just let me know in the comments below. Every product I've used, I'll go ahead and link that in the description bar below as well. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch y'all in my next video. Bye.